Okay, let's go ahead and do 7.2. Consideration of proposed letter to Charles M. Shulz, Sonoma County Airport, STS, encouraging development of approach and departure procedures to mitigate noise impacts by aircraft on the Cobb Mountain communities. Supervisor Paiska.
So I had help from staff to put this letter together along with a member from the Cobb Area Council who is a pilot. There is an uptick on traffic in the Cobb area in South County. There's a runway that lines up exactly with the top of Cobb Mountain, and so the flights come directly over our community, and we sit at a higher altitude, and so when the planes are coming and going, flying at a plateau and then dramatically going up and down and taking their engines up and down, it has increased a lot of the noise over the area. So because Sonoma County Airport is going through some approach studies and had a comment period open, I'm submitting this letter. I'm requesting that we submit this letter from our board so that we can go on record as making these requests to be a good neighbor. I would say I think that I know the airport is actually in Supervisor Gore's district, so we can either send it to him or the whole board. But this is the letter that is pretty technical. It's been vetted by our other experienced flyer, Ray, who's also a local pilot, and said everything here is absolutely spot on technically.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Supervisor Green.
Yeah, just some process questions. So I know there's some comment period open on STS. I don't know if the comments are supposed to be directed to the Board of Supervisors. So just question as to that comment process. I thought the comment period had closed as far as this particular aspect of the runway. And then not being a pilot, not having the technical background on the vector adherence, part of the statement here is that it will keep air traffic further north of us over lesser populated areas. Of course, directly north of Cobb would be Big Valley, Kelseyville, Lakeport, and stuff like that. So absent having any maps or any full understanding of if we're going to push them in a different direction from Cobb, that necessarily involves those planes getting routed to locations elsewhere in the county potentially. So I'm not opposed to sending a letter, but I just don't understand enough about this, and I'm not super comfortable about the stricter vector adherence that would route potentially air traffic away from the Cobb area, but possibly route it elsewhere in the county.
Well, the airport is pretty much directly on the other side of Cobb Mountain. So it is very close in proximity to the airport and also at high elevation. So if you changed the vector, by the time the planes got over any community, the communities would be at a lower altitude and the plane would be at a higher altitude. So I don't think that you would realize any impact. But this is just, the airport doesn't have any, they don't, once the airplane leaves the airport, there's no jurisdiction. So this is encouraging pilots to be friendly, to adhere to friendly neighbor procedures. So that's all this is really requesting, and anything that the airport can do is request pilots to do this. So I have had conversations with Supervisor Gore. He knows this letter is coming. The comment period did close last Friday, but we didn't have enough meetings to get this done. So he knows that this is on its way, and he's expecting it. So don't have to worry about the comment period being closed.
And I think we can always send letters to our colleagues to let them know our thoughts so that they can incorporate that as they move forward in their studies and their decision-making process. I do have a question for you. Obviously, the technical knowledge needed for this is beyond me, so I'm not going to question any of that. Is this enough? Is there a future ask maybe that will come back at a later time, or is just this letter simply enough to at least make our statement and see what they do with it?
Yeah, this is enough, because they don't have jurisdiction, really. But what the planes, it's easy, sometimes pilots prefer to do this plateauing and then up and down, and then they have to turn their engines up higher, and, so they're just trying to train all of the pilots around the airport, because they're getting complaints all around Sonoma County about this. And so if they just consistently fly straight up or straight down, then there's less noise impact. So they've been gathering comments, and I listened to the comment period, or I listened to the presentations and all the comments, and, I think that we just do this, and
Okay.
I don't think we need to do much else.
And I don't think that what we're asking is moving the burden from one to another. As you stated, Cobb is at a high elevation. Maybe there's sparse population in the mountains in the north or the south, but in comparison, it will not be anything close to what it is for the Cobb community. So I'm okay with what's being requested. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a need for more to ensure that we're heard. So, anything else, Supervisor
My
Sapp?
only follow-up question, because I support sending the letter. Should we send it to Congressman Thompson's office, since it's the FAA, a federal agency that kind of controls the airports? Just a question, just a copy of it, or a CC him on our letter? I don't know. I just wanted to ask a question. Because it is a federal agency, right? The FAA controls the airports. I just thought of that right now, so.
I like the suggestion, and I don't think it would hurt to do so. As far as you made a suggestion to both the supervisor whose district it is, as well as Supervisor Hopkins, I would say yes to both as well.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's fine. I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Anything else? Let's go ahead and open it up for public comment. Anyone wish to speak? I can't find Zoom on this item. Please raise your hand in Zoom. Get up in the board chamber. And seeing none of the above, I'm bringing it back to the board for action.
Okay, I move that we approve the letter to STS and authorize the chair to sign.
With the additional CCs?
It amended to, the letter should go to Supervisor Gore. It could CC Supervisor Hopkins and CC Mike Thompson's office, Congressman Thompson's office.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for bringing that.